Hey there, YouTube. Today we are talking about belts. Now, this is a double belt system. Something I think a lot of people should have. Pretty much everybody should have one of these. Grab this. Now, by double belt system, if you're not familiar, these are very, very common, like competitive shooting style rigs where you have an inner belt that goes through your belt loops. It's not rigid by design. This is relatively flexible material, so it can hug your body. And then attaching via Velcro on the inside, this is a rigid outer belt. This is the sort of thing that I think I messed up. Honestly, I messed up. When I started shooting competitively, I shot, I think I shot my whole first year without one of these rigs. I made GM and USPSA with a leather belt, the outside the waistband holster, and then CompTac single mag pouches on the side. Not something you see many people shooting these days. I did not appreciate. I made the mistake. Well, first mistake was I was being poor, which is a mistake, and then second mistake, I did not appreciate what spending a few bucks on something like this could do for me. So anyway, these double belt systems are the jam. Why? And even if you're not interested in necessarily competitive shooting, or you don't, even if you do competitive shooting, you don't think you need this. The real magic of something like this is it's great for training. It's so good for practice. Why? Well, as you can see, this nice rigid outer belt keeps all my equipment in the same place. Now, this belt has been in inventory of mine for more than a decade, I'm sure. I think it started its life as a training belt for Tanfoglio pistols, and then I needed a belt set up for rifle, like a rifle Glock combo belt, and this got repurposed, I think, a few years ago. And now, as you can see, after more than 10 years of training, this thing's frayed. It's done. And it's about to be replaced. But that having been said, it's like, man, what a cool idea to have this. And I wish I'd gotten one sooner. Why? Because it facilitates training. It makes it so much faster and so much easier. And I really didn't appreciate that before I got one. It was like I would spend time getting my belt looped through, getting my holster looped through there, clipping on the mag pouches. Then, depending on the position exactly of where the loops are at, on that set of pants or shorts that I was wearing that day, I would, have to get the holster in there and all of that stuff. It took a little bit of time, and it never really felt like it came together the same way. Switching to a double belt like this just facilitated faster, easier practice where it'd be like, put the belt on, and that's pretty much it. And then, like a lot of people, you can tell if people are really serious about shooting because they have a habit of just wearing the inner belt all the time. As you can see, I was on the range today, still wearing the inner belt. I wear my inner belt, I don't know, 80% of the time, like that I'm alive on the earth. I'm probably wearing this inner belt unless I'm sleeping. Now, these things are pretty good. They're rigid. They last a long time. I practice like crazy, and I think this is maybe the second or third belt in my career that I'm going to throw away, and I'm about to throw it away. The holster's going to come off. The pouches are going to come off, of course. Now, normally I would just replace it with another one of these. This is the Double Alpha brand. It's a pretty good brand. There's a few brands. I get my belts from BenStegerProShop.com. Link in the description if you want one. This is one of the pretty good brands. It's rigid, it's good. There's other stuff you can get. Some of it's like less expensive, some of it's more. There's another belt system now that has like links. You link things together, and it's like a plastic thing. It's hard to describe. You'll see. You'll see someday. I don't have one with me. But the shop guys wanted me to test out this. This is another belt from Double Alpha with this ratchet system. Not that Double Alpha invented ratchets or the first ones to put them on belts, But, you know, when Double Alpha puts something out, typically it's pretty good. Here's a ratchet system so we can get, you know, get the belt together and get it even more rigid. So they want me to test this thing out. I assume it's going to work just fine, and I won't have anything to say about it. But if I end up hating this thing, that'll probably be a YouTube video. Anyway, the point is, if you don't have a double belt like this, it's something that's it's worth considering. It really is. Like maybe 60 bucks or something for 70 bucks. I don't know anymore. But a belt like this is worth considering. If you're serious enough that you're like spending money on ammo and you have a holster and mag pouches and stuff like that, getting the double belt honestly makes your life so much easier. This is relevant to me today because Joel and I are we're near Austin teaching an open enrollment course. And there's a lot of people in there where it's just like, hey, this would just be so much easier if you had one of these. You wouldn't be threading the holster through here every time. Your stuff would be more rigid. You know, it stays in place. And again, it just facilitates easier training. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the double belts. I wish I'd have gotten one sooner. I'm not sure I've gotten a lot smarter. I've just gotten older and a little bit more experienced. But shit, I wish I'd gotten one of these sooner.